You ever see a brilliant new idea? Something that seems like a total slam dunk, just fizzle out and fail? It happens all the time. So today, we're going to look at change in a completely different way. Not as some chaotic storm you just have to survive, but as an architectural project. One that needs a rock-solid blueprint if you want it to last.
It's the kind of question that keeps people up at night, right? You've got this fantastic idea, a clear vision, but somewhere down the line, the whole thing just crumbles. It really feels like you're trying to build a skyscraper on sand. But what if the problem was never the idea? What if it was the ground you were trying to build on?
You know, the biggest challenge is almost always the thing you can't see, the part that's right under the surface. Before we even start dreaming about these amazing towers of innovation, we have to ask a simple question. Is the ground stable? Because if it isn't, literally nothing else we do is going to matter.
And this right here gets to the absolute heart of it. We get so excited about the new building, the new software, the new workflow, that we completely skip the prep work. The failure isn't a problem with the blueprint. It's a failure to prepare the site where you're going to build.
So, how do we fix this? Well, it's about a huge shift in focus. We need to stop obsessing over just building the thing, and we need to start getting the ground ready for it. This is what we call a readiness architecture, a deliberate, thought-out blueprint for making sure your project actually succeeds.
I want you to focus on one word here because it changes everything. That word is before. See, change readiness isn't something you do in the middle of all the chaos. It's the essential work you do up front that makes the whole project even possible. It's like surveying the land, digging the trenches, and pouring the concrete foundation. It's what ensures your structure is going to stand tall for years.
Okay, so what's the number one tool in our architectural toolkit? It's something called behavioral intelligence. Now, this isn't just about spreadsheets and data. It's about really understanding why people do the things they do, their motivations, their fears, and their habits. It's the master key to preparing the human landscape for the change that's coming. Our blueprint, our entire architecture, stands on three massive pillars, and you can't skip a single one. First, we have to plan the change. Then, we have to manage the construction. And finally, we have to lead the people who will actually make it all happen. So let's dive into each one, because getting this right is, well, it's everything.
First up, planning. This is the stage where the architect actually draws the blueprint. And honestly, this is where most projects are won or lost before a single dollar is even spent.
Now look, great planning is so much more than just a to-do list. It's about defining a vision so clear and so compelling that everybody can see it in their mind's eye. It's about charting a realistic path to get there, and maybe the most critical part, preparing the team, giving them the skills, the tools, and the confidence for the road ahead.
So here's the bottom line. When you get the planning right, there are no mysteries. Every single person on the crew, from the top leader to the brand new hire, gets the blueprint. They don't just know what they're building, they feel it in their gut why it matters so much.
All right, we've got the blueprint. It's time to break ground. This brings us right to our second pillar, managing the change. This is the hard hat zone, the day in, day out work of actually building the thing. Managing is not a passive job. It's incredibly active. It's about guiding the process to make sure it stays true to that original vision. It means actively supporting your people when things get tough, giving them what they need. And for sure, it's about seeing roadblocks coming and blasting right through them before they derail the whole project. The best way to think about it is like a project manager on a big construction site. Their job is to make sure the work is high quality, the team is safe, and that everything stays on schedule and on budget. Without that constant watchful eye, even the most amazing blueprint is just a piece of paper.
So, the building is up, the paint is drying, but we are not done, not by a long shot. This brings us to our third and final pillar, leading the change. This is what turns a new building into a place people actually feel is home.
And we have to be really clear here. Leading is not the same as managing. It's less about schedules and reports and way more about hearts and minds. It's about inspiring that belief in the vision over and over again. It's about being the first one to model the new behaviors, and here's the real magic. It's about empowering other people to take ownership and make this change their own.
And that is the thing that takes a change project from just good to truly game-changing. It stops being some order from the top and it becomes a shared mission. People don't just put up with the change, they embrace it, they defend it, they make it even better. That's when you know you've got real leadership.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head.
It's so easy to get lost in the process, right? The meetings, the planning docs, the status reports. We forget the whole point. The goal isn't just to manage a project. The goal is to successfully implement it, so you have a finished, working, and thriving result at the end.
So the next time you're about to kick off something new, I want you to ask yourself this question. Are you just sketching out a cool idea, or are you actually designing an entire architecture for change? Because a brilliant idea is one thing, but a structure, well, a structure is only as strong as the foundation it's built on.